Hey everypony, the Psyche Comet coming at you, and I'm here to discuss My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I'm going to have a huge discussion today about it, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing at the end, which is going to be the basis for my channel. And I don't really care what people think about my idea. I'm doing it anyway because I feel like it should have been done. So why don't we get started? I did not start out as a brony. I was bet into watching My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And I'd say I thought I'd only stick around for one season, but then and I decided, wow, this is actually pretty good. And I loved the comedy and the humor in it too. Yes, it may be a show that was supposed to be branched out towards girls the age of 12, but I actually started loving the series when it was almost done with season 1, actually. It was amazing. So, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I had to say that my favorite pony out of all of them would either have to be Applejack, Twilight, right, or maybe Pinkie Pie. I don't know why. And out of the main 6, I mean, like, I had to say that my favorite pony out of all of them, I'm sorry, it has to be Derby. It's just that I feel like they should have given her screen time and more lines. I wanted to get more into her. Well, okay with Starlight Glimmer, though she kind of scares me sometimes of what she is and the irrational thinking that she does at times. That's enough about that. Let me get into the enemies that were reformed. Number 1, Discord. This is a major enemy that was reformed. I think it was in season 3 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I watched the series. I just have a bad memory of stuff like this. So, as Discord is the Lord of Chaos and Disharmony. He basically has the power to do anything he wants. Can the fabric of reality. The only thing is that he was brought down by the shyest pony of them all, Fluttershy, the element of kindness. Though I feel like Fluttershy should have been a little bit more assertive at the beginning, she started to get really assertive at the end since she had been bottling in her emotions, which I don't feel like she should have done. Discord admits that he never had a friend before, and he realizes when Fluttershy says that she's not his friend, and he realizes finally what it means to have a friend, that you can't always have a. Hey, just as he says. And when Celestia and Luna come to greet the main, say no. Oh, now the Discord is reformed. Yeah, but I think that he does it for Fluttershy. I mean, like, come on, can you say no to that face? I don't think so. Discord has shown an immense amount of development and through the entire series, even if it's just in little parts. He noticed that he had to force Fluttershy to have her personality change. They didn't do it willingly like the other 5 majors. Well, 4, because Twilight didn't get, changed until the end. And she got it back, yay! But Fluttershy was pretty okay with herself. She was okay that every pony didn't that much about her. She was fine of living a quiet life. And in a way, I feel like Discord kind of was jealous of Fluttershy in a way. And he was puzzled of why she was just so okay. Yeah, Pinkie Pie you would have thought to be impossible to break through. But if you can remember in one of the episodes when it was Pinkie Pie's birthday, her friends tried to avoid her to throw her a surprise party, and that's when I think the Cupcakes fanfic started, when she went insane. And so, then, and is basically leave in the May in the garden. God, I cannot talk. Basically, in the May royal courtyards, her Discord, her basically had the main six play a game. And I actually thought that Pinkie was going to make it through all right. Pinkie's actually pretty sensitive. She may not show it all the time, but you have to know that she is very, very sensitive. If once you turn one thing on her, it can all come crumbling down. As soon as Discord said that they're laughing with you, they're laughing at you. That broke Pinkie's entire demeanor. It broke her down. She didn't like being laughed at for every single thing that she did. It was really, really hard to see Pinkie Pie go into a phase like that. Yeesh. I feel... I don't know why. Discord decided to make Applejack a liar. Nor do I feel like it was completely necessary for Applejack to actually live. Because Applejack's got a lot going on inside. She's the pony who cries on the side. Enough about that. Back to Discord. When Discord hangs out with Fluttershy, they usually have tea time together, and Discord is genuinely having fun. And Fluttershy's character opens up a little bit more, as we start to see her more with Discord. She doesn't show it to around her friends, but she enjoys excitement. Even if it's things. She enjoys a little chaos in her day. It's really, really surprising, actually. Because in one of the episodes, Discord changed himself completely for Fluttershy. And then he tried to do his best to act normal, but Fluttershy didn't want that. She wanted him to be himself. Not only does that prove that Fluttershy deeply cares for Discord and is a true friend towards him, that also proves that Fluttershy loves to have a little bit of disorder in her life. And she loves to have a little bit of chaos, and Discord's chaos is just enough, apparently. As you can see, when Equestria has main six and basically almost all the main princesses got taken by the changeling things in Starlight Glimmer. Basically, he told Discord that Fluttershy had been taken, and you see how furious he gets. Yeah, the sign of love. And I actually think that it is. I actually got a little bit terrified there. You've never really seen more genuinely angry. Usually, yes, he's been angry before, but not on that type of scale, where you literally see his eyes flash and glow. And his voice kind of gets into an intimidating tone. I don't know, but if I was in Starlight's position, I would have been careful. Plus it took the elements of to seal Discord. And Ford was actually angry, legitly angry. He thought the elements could have stopped him. I do not know. But as everyone knows, he's just a prankster most of the time, and Fluttershy is the one person who accepts him for who he is. I love that. I truly do. Reformation number 2, Starlight Glimmer. Starlight Glimmer, her had a hard pass, but I feel like her past shouldn't have been that tragic. It's hard to put into words because, and just one friend made her go on the path of evil. I guess what friends can do to you. Jeez. Well, now I look about this, it's really confusing. But Starlight, like Glimmer, had a friend, even named Sunburst. Yes, and when Sunburst got his, she was left behind without her cutie mark. And she started delving into a world of magic, like intensely. To the point where she literally didn't want anyone to have special talents. And she literally took an entire her village's cutie marks and was planning to move on to the Equestria, using Twilight as her basis. Luckily the main six stopped her. But it was only because Twilight grabbed onto Starlight, dragging her through the time portal with her and Spike. That she see what her messing up time did to Equestria. Like Twilight said, that different and future is worse than the last. And the last world that into, there was nothing there. Nothing at all. And I had to admit, I was actually, geez, I kind of want a spin-off series of each of those futures. I really do. Starlight is very intelligent, but it can be an irrational thinker sometimes because she overthinks things. She thought just because her friend got a cutie mark first, she didn't get it, and then she had to go on the path of evil and, do what she did. And when he made ends with Trixie, and Trixie was starting to annoy her, instead of telling Trixie from the beginning, and she decided to bottle it in, which is not good. Which, as she said, that her magic can get unstable due to emotions, which I find completely understandable. So, my final analysis on Starlight's reformation is that she literally had to show Twilight what she had been through. Which, if I was in Twilight's shoes at the time, I mean, she was just a little filly. Starlight was, so why'd she let this one friendship just, I don't know, throw her off of life? I know this isn't how the story went, but I would have probably told Starlight that she needs to probably grow up. And not all friendships will last. Yes. But when you meet your truth, they will always last, no matter what. And I would have probably gone in time, and I would have probably sent, I don't know, to maybe cheerleading school or something. Somewhere where she could associate it with ponies that were kinder. Knowing that some of the students in cheerleading's class aren't really that kind. But I think that Starlight's reformation was actually really, really good. Not only was she a powerful unicorn, and she proved to be a very, very good friend, and to not only Nixie, but also Thorax, Cord, Spike, Twilight, and everyone else. So, what do you guys think of Starlight? I mean, I know that I like her, though she can be a little bit too, overwhelming at times. She's a good character in general. Now, before I go on reformation, these are, I'm glad, reformations I did not see, because I thought they would have been totally awkward, and I thought it was kind of impossible to do. Yeah, and I really only have two so far. Actually, no, I have three. So let's get started. The first one being T-Rex. Yeah, T-Rex is a powerful centaur who all the magic in Equestria. Oh, if he that they say that everyone has their purpose, but unless like T-Rex becomes like a cop for unicorns, it says you can't get your magic until you serve your sentence. I can't really see him being reformed because he needs magic in order to use power. Yeah, so when I saw everything that T-Rex did, and when I saw him come back not once, not twice, but three times. I think. Yeah, three. Yeah, I was kind of glad that they didn't try to reform him. And now I know that might seem really mean of me, but I'm sorry, but T-Rex looks freaking scary. And I cannot handle him. Like, one time I actually had a nightmare that T-Rex was, like, out in my hallway. Hey, just waiting for me in the dark, ready to me with his hands and crush me. T-Rex use of magic is very destructive. If he even wanted to go into the Crystal Empire and suck out Flurry Heart's magic. Flurry Heart is a baby alicorn. Why would you do that to a baby? Henceforth, why would you do that to any filly or colt? This is why I don't see them ever reforming T-Rex. Yeah, I don't see them reforming him, no matter how, unless you like like he was like one of the people who's like, you can't get your magic back until you serve your prison sentence, and just took the unicorn's magic away, or the Pegasus or the Earth ponies. I can't really see him being. Yeah, another one that I'm glad I did not see was Flim and Flam. God, those guys were. Well, let's just say they weren't nice whatsoever. I freaking hated them. And they were cheap. They pulled scams, and they would do anything to win. It was kind of like a lightning dust. Really, really hard to watch how Flim and Flam wouldn't consider the Apple family these money issues. Not everyone buys apples. Sorry, but they're gonna need that money, you know, to survive the winter months. Why 75% of the profits, and the Apple family only gets 25? Hey, that's unfair. I'm sorry if anyone disagrees with me, but that is just unfair. I don't see them doing that. When Las Pegasus is Applejack and Fluttershy literally made it. Then they would Flim and Flam would get back together. They decided to help them once, and only once. They made a statement saying, we'll use our powers for good. Elaborate on only once. And the episode just ends with Applejack getting angry. I don't see any redeeming qualities about those guys. They're businessmen. If you know shady businessmen, usually they're pretty hard to reform. They're usually thinking about profit and themselves. I mean, seriously. Hey, come on. The third one that I have, I wouldn't really call him a villain, but I wouldn't call him a good guy either. And he's more just a side character. I kind of didn't like Will. I don't see any chance of reforming him. Literally, Fluttershy gave him, made his own insurance backfire on him. When I was first watching the MLP series, I'm like, Fluttershy can reform this guy, teach him what it truly means to be kind and more assertive. Oh, I was totally wrong. Iron Will's demeanor, when he is making a princess cruise, it was ridiculous. Yes, and he didn't even give anyone refunds. It was so stupid. Iron Will uses kind of brute force. Some of his advice was good. Like one bit advice. Nice. And that was look the person in the eye. I don't remember if there was any other advice he gave that was actually helpful, but if you're going to be assertive, you have to look somebody in the eye. You can't just have your eyes wandering off, or else people aren't going to take you seriously. The things that Iron Will said to be assertive, more like be aggressive, was just ridiculous. He was literally just creating bullies. And we all know how those turn out. Nothing. Okay, so reformations I didn't want to see. Now, one of the ones that I did want to see really bad, though, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will agree with me on this, was Queen Chrysalis. A changeling queen who lost her hive. As you know, she was turned to stone at the end of the 9th season. And yes, but I feel like there should have been a different route her. She's a changeling. She can be whoever she wants to be, and that would have been a good lesson, and a really good one, in fact. I would have liked to. What I would have liked to see the most is that Chrysalis was hiding out in a pony's village, just pretending to be a pony. When a stallion and falls in love with her. At first, she's trying to avoid the stallion, and as much as she can, and tries to use him for her plots, but then and realizes that she's starting to love too. It would be really nice to actually see that. Yeah, that would prove that when Queen Chrysalis wanted to go take revenge and run off, maybe her lover could tell her, you don't have to be changing. You can be whoever you want to be. And that would have made a Queen Chrysalis see, like her lover saying, no matter who or what you are, I'll love you. You'll always be my special sun pony. That would have been actually very nice to see, and that would have been amazing if they actually did that. Have her just live her life as a pony in a village. Yes, she could come out and be reformed, saying that she doesn't want to be queen, or that she gives up her crown, and since she can't be queen anymore. She'd rather just live her life as a pony in a small village, living an average life. Yes, it might take a few episodes, but I would have really loved to see that. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd have been the best ending for Chrysalis instead of her just getting, turned to stone. Yeah. Turning people to stone is not good, and they want revenge. Discord being one of them. Alright, so now that we're done with reformations of people, what I really wanted to also see, what more of Trixie. And I don't just mean her being the great and powerful Trixie, being all snooty and arrogant. I mean like I remember her one channel made a Trixie, I think it was Magipony, who made her the element of forgiveness. Is after learning a huge lesson. And I would have loved to see that happen. That would have been amazing. If she became one of the main six, the main seven, or if you had Starlight 8, that would have been amazing. I would have just loved to see that because Trixie has a lot of potential to become a great character and become actually great and powerful. It's not fair that number one, all the ponies were basically main six were ganging up on her when she was just trying to show off her magical ability. I don't really think that that's right. That's kind of bullying. There, and Trixie, he just started being all defensive. To be honest, yes, Twilight, and you can show your talents. Who Kitty wants to show off? I mean, it shouldn't really affect you. Yeah, she was just trying to make a living. It's not really fair to anyone if you're ganging up with your friends on one person who's just trying to be them. Though I will say, hey, that Trixie would stop calling herself great and powerful. Unlike in front of a bunch of like Phillies and Colts, like she was doing a kid's birthday party or something. And that she would actually realize everyone else around her is equal. That would be really nice to see, though. I'm not going to lie. So, enough about that. And I'm gonna delve into Equestria Girls. Yeah, no. Oh, I'm sorry. The Equestria Girls is kind of confusing. All the people, well, there, I keep making jokes about skin cancer because it's like Technicolor. And it was supposed to be Earth. And I'm sorry, I literally can't. Some of the skin colors that you see some of the background characters is just unreal. Like, I'll literally start laughing my butt off at that. So basically, the Sunset Shimmer here steals Twilight's crown, and she has to go to Earth, or an alternate version of Equestria, just Earth. And so once she gets there, she has to learn how to act like a human, and for some reason, and friends are already there in that world. What I don't like about this, number one, I feel like the main six should have just gone with her. That they would all have to learn what it meant to be human. It was kind of disturbing, though, seeing that Spike was turned into a dog, yet Twilight says, "Oh, you're my equal. Oh, you're like a brother to me." I would have really liked to see Spike have like a human. That would have been fun to see. But one of the other things I really don't like about Equestria Girls is that, I'm sorry, it's Flash Central. I can't stand. I mean, like, yeah, he helped Twilight a few times, but that's about it. He's easily influenced by third parties. He's easily hypnotized, and just not right. I'm sorry. It's wrong. If you're gonna make it, I think just put him in there since Twilight has a love interest since, high school and all that. And they even, if they were gonna do that, why could Twilight decide? I mean, like, yes, her friends were back in Equestria, but I would have liked it if they ended it like with Twilight and Flash saying a goodbye personally to each other, or that Flash said he wants to come with Twilight to Equestria, or that Twilight decides to give up Princess and stay there with him. I would have the first option better with him going to Equestria, because I don't think Twilight would herself. Sorry, but I don't. They teach Sunset Shimmer you of friendship. I did like that. And about Equestria girls. Is this uncolored human and comes in saying that she's originally from Equestria, turns into a powerful raging she-demon and on ruling in this world. That's just, I mean, like, did you see the design on that demon? I mean, like, that looks like something totally out of, I don't know, some Courage the Cowardly Dog or something like that. But in the end, Sunset, not Starlight, is like Glimmer, Sunset, Shimmer. It's like they're opposite of one another. Like if you flip a coin, I mean, Sunset one side and then Starlight's it's on the other. Jesus. Jesus, I'm getting off topic again. Ugh. So, then, and we have Sunset learning the value of friendship, because then Equestria Girls turns into an actual series. Now, what I like to see more is that instead of just taking Equestrian from everyone and who even tries to wield it, teach them to use it properly. Make it more like Hogwarts. That would have been cool. Since Sunset it brought the crown, at least so much equestrian magic in there, it could have made everyone start to have these weird or uncanny powers. The second, another thing I don't like about Equestria Girls is, I'm sorry, I was doing for things that I like, and now I'm doing things that I don't like. And they brought Twilight back, and I don't mean like the Twilight from Equestria. I meant like another version of Twilight. People like to call her Sci-Twi, which I kind of find that funny, because, sci-fi. Hey, but that's not what this is about. Sci-Twi is basically a researcher here, like our friend and he from Equestria, and she is basically intrigued with magic. She knows that somewhere in Canterlot High, that magic is there. And she does everything that she can to figure it out. Sunset is actually, he started reforming herself, but not many people believe her except her new friends. I kind of find that kind of disappointing. Sunset has tried so hard. Back to Sci-Twi. I kind of embarrassing, not just for Flash, but for also Sci-Twi. That she didn't even know who Flash was, because it's not the same Twilight. You would have thought if Flash Sentry and the other, and Equestria's Twilight actually had a connection, that they'd be if it was them. I don't know. I know it's not supposed to be too lovey-dovey, but that would have been. Then I would have been okay with Flash. And as you can see, I am not. When they meet again, and Sci-Twi is acting all, oh, hey, who are you? And Flash is acting like, Twilight, I'm glad to see you. And it becomes like an awkward moment for both of them, and they keep having these awkward moments. So then it just gives up on Twilight. Right, so then, and he goes back to Sunset. Or at least I feel like that's the direction that they're starting to go. Which is, in my opinion, it's kind of bad. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Like, they can literally do anything else. Jeez. I feel like also there shouldn't be a. I really feel like there shouldn't be a main six in this alternate world. Like they were just there temporarily. It would have made a great story, in my opinion. And the fact that they only brought Star in for one episode, I kind of feel like they should have brought her in. Like while Twilight and the others were away, or while they didn't show Starlight in Equestria, she'd be on Earth, having the fun of of her life. So I was kind of upset about that. She was only like a one thing. Yep. And what the heck is up with a regular dog becoming a talking dog? Yeah, who cares? It doesn't really matter. What does matter is that we get back to the discussion. Yeah, I do like how each of the characters have grown, but they could use a little bit of work. And I like how Fluttershy does assert her assertiveness, but only in a last-ditch effort. And she really needs to get that bunny of hers under control. Oh, I do find it hilarious how he acts. In a way, though, kind of enables her animals to do whatever they want. It's like saying that you'll take a dog on a walk every day and then they become spoiled. And so then, they can't actually do anything but want to go on walks. And then they start peeing all over the house. When I saw the end of Friendship is Magic, though, that's where the feels really hit me. I didn't want it to end. There were too many plot holes. Spike never got to find out who his family was. I would have really liked to see Spike's family. I would have liked to see a little bit more drama. Spike had to choose if he wanted to live with his real family or stay with Twilight and her friends. And I had to say, I feel like Spike would have gone back to Twilight, saying, "Thank time that we spent, but I know I've known Twilight my entire life." I feel like Spike's mother and father would have been okay with that, saying, "As long as you're happy." Oh boy, what have I not touched on yet? Before I go on to what I am planning for my channel. Ooh, I think that you guys will know all this. Scootaloo. The scooterizing pony that goes everywhere. Almost in a flash. Scootaloo, who I'd say is my favorite Cutie Mark Crusaders. Just because her dream has become just like Rainbow Dash. And she uses a scooter to get everywhere. What I was really sad is that her wings did not grow. I kind of felt really bad for Scootaloo. I really wanted her to be like the next Wonderbolt. Yeah, I wanted her to become a great flyer like she always wanted, because she wanted to be able to fly. That was basically her dream. And yet, nothing. She never got there. At the end of the series, she was all grown up, but her wings were still a little small. It was. I don't know about you guys, but if you can imagine, it's really sad because when you want somebody that you care about to reach their dreams, and then when they can't because something is holding them back, It just feels awful. It just feels really, really awful. Well, I think that's it for the discussion in part of this video. It's about the MLP series in general. The rating I'd give it out of 5 stars, 4.75 stars. Actually, no, more like 4.5. It's a lot better. There was some of the reformations. And like I said before, let's get onto what I have planned. I made the channel specifically to try and fix some of the errors that was caused by MLP, at least in my opinion, some of the errors. And I wanted to get more in the main six, his backstory, how they relate with their elements more. So I decided to create this channel, Psyche. Now, I'm going. Synopsis of this is basically it's almost like the MLP storyline, except there's one other person that's with the main six that's actually an element of harmony, and that, of course, is my OC Psyche Comet, whose parents are Violet Storm and Cluster Comet, a unicorn and a Pegasus. So the story starts out actually 1,000 years ago, before Twilight and her friends, became the elements of harmony. Before Discord was turned to Stone, Sombra was banished to the Crystal Empire. Before, Luna was sealed into the moon. Basically, before the main bad guys started doing major bad stuff. I mean, like, yeah, they were still doing, but not as bad. And so at this time, Star Swirl the Bearded is still training Celestia and Luna. Yeah, already rule over Equestria, but he's still guiding them in some ways. Celestia starts having visions of the future, and she sees it in ruins. And each time she looks up, she just sees this mysterious ball of energy, which doesn't appear to be magic. I know that it doesn't seem logical, because in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, everything is based off of magic. I wanted to kind of throw a curveball for that. So, basically, Celestia keeps having these night. Luna always has to go in and stop the nightmares, but has seen some of the tragedies that go on. And eventually, once she hears the name Violet Storm, Celestia starts to break down a little bit, trying to prevent this from happening and taking precautionary measures. She doesn't know where exactly this tragedy takes place. She doesn't know how it's going to take place, but she tries her best to stop it. Eventually, Violet Storm and Cluster Comet get married, and they live on the outskirts of Manhattan, and like way on the outskirts. It's more countryside, and they've built a small cottage for themselves. Little did they know that there are debtors there. The debtors make up this plan, saying that Violet Storm and Cluster Comet do not actually own the land, and to actually start paying rent to stay there, or else they'll come and knock down houses or report them to the Equestrian Royal Guards. And Psyche at the time is only a few months old, but he already has shown strange powers. Before I go on how I created this OC is because number one, I was looking at all the OCs that people made over, and I saw that each of them had their unique personalities. I loved them. I said, wow, I wish that these people would have been the My Little Pony series. He's one of my favorite is Magini. I love of Dr. Wolf as well. Really inspirational. And I really wanted to create my own OC for a while, but I didn't know how. Yes, I can be kind of stupid like that at times, but I decided I can Alicorn. Alicorns are already super overpowered. They're basically immortal. From what shows, from how long Celestia and Luna have been living and how tall they are. So I decided to make not a Pegasus, not a unicorn, but yes, an Earth pony. Then I thought about, what about a cutie mark? A cutie mark that symbolizes what he can do. Now, at the time that I was thinking about this, I was also watching some anime and caught a glimpse of what I should do. I was watching an anime called Mob Psycho 100 and The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. And yes, that may sound familiar to Comet, but it's with a K. Hey, Psyche is spelled the same because I just couldn't figure out another name for psychic. Yeah, so, basically, I was watching those two animes and I saw these embers use their powers, and I couldn't decide which of those powers I wanted Psyche to have a similarity to. On one hand, Psyche Kuso, who is basically God in his own world. He can brainwash, he can transform into anything he wants, he can basically do anything. Then I saw Mob, or Shigeo Kageyama. Saw all the hardships and strifes that he had to go through, and then I'm like, you know what, I think I want to go with this one. But then, and after I made it, I decided, what should be a cutie mark? Dang it. What cutie mark? Because there's not many of them that represent psychic. So I decided to make it, and so then it's an eye with two comets whirling around it, kind of like almost like an atom. Yeah, it was really hard for me to think of a cutie mark for him. So I decided, should Psyche get his cutie mark? How would he find out that he had these weird abilities? How I figured it out is do something that hasn't been done before, kind of like Flurry Heart. So I made Psyche born with his cutie mark. So, back on the topic with Luna and Celestia. And the debtors. As soon as the debtor started demanding more money from Psyche's parent, and soon they weren't able to support themselves, Psyche started to go on a rampage. Psyche loves his vengeance very much, and it started to make his psychic abilities go out of control. Usually any time he was angry, sad, or in pain. So, he starts taking up on house and starts getting enveloped in this orb of psychic energy, starting to make anything that comes in contact with it or comes close to it get vaporized. The only ones that are spared are his parents, except for anything else, animals, ponies, dragons, anything that came near it gets vaporized by it. Starscroll sees the urgency of this matter and decides to form a council. Oh yes, the main six before the main six that we all know and love. And who would this consist of? Of course, Celestia and Luna at the time, who would be using the elements of me. Can you guess who the other four were? If you can't, then let me tell you. Discord, the Lord of Chaos, Chrysalis, the Changeling, Sombra, King of the Crystal Empire, and T-Rex, the Centaur. Along with Celestia and Luna, they would be the original main six. Now, I understand this might not make sense, but I feel like if everything was threatening Equestria of all faction, they would have to come together. Basically, the Celestia has known that this day would eventually come. Chrysalis with her changeling, he discord with his otherworldly he powers. There's T-Rex with his strong magic absorbing abilities and stuff. There's Sombra with the power of shadows and dark magic and stuff. You know where I'm getting with this. They go into against Psyche, and his parents are trying to get him to calm down. At all costs. The debtors, yes, vaporized. Yes, they got vaporized as soon as the psychic energy starts to flow outwards towards other parts of Equestria. They come together and they start fighting him. Though, he tries their own tactics at first. Chrysalis tries absorbing the love that Psyche has for his parents, which gives her immense amount of strength. But when using it against him is unable to rival the intensity that his psychic powers are producing. And discord to wrap Psyche around in another dimension. But his magic seems to be reflecting off the psychic energy that he's emitting. T-Rex tries absorbing Psyche's psychic powers, but can't seem to since it's magic-based. And Sombra tries using dark magic to control Psyche's mind to force him to calm, using nightmares to control him. Unfortunately, King made it worse. How? By seeing nightmares of his parents getting hurt and stuff, Psyche goes into a blind rage, and the psychic energy start to even drain away the main six his powers. As Star Swirl is trying to suggest another option, sending Psyche to an alternate dimension and through a spell. But then Celestia says that she's known the solution the entire time. She grabs Luna and flies back off to the castle, and they get the elements of harmony. Elements, for some reason, are seeing supercharged. For some reason, something's going with them, and something is wrong. They fly back to the battlefield, and Celestia sees Violet Storm and Cluster Comet. It looks at them with tears streaming down her face because she doesn't want to hurt a young colt who doesn't know what he's doing. Violet Storm begs the princess to save her son at all costs. Celestia admits that the elements of harmony are unpredictable. They do what they see needs to be done. It has different effects on everyone. For Luna, it turned her back from Nightmare Moon back into Princess Luna. For Discord, turned him to stone. So, what can we guess what will happen to a young colt who doesn't know what he's doing? Basically, Celestia and Luna hesitantly at first, but then realize that there's no other way, use the elements of harmony against Psyche. Once the elements hit him, it crystallizes his psychic, encasing him in a see-through crystal. Princess Celestia doesn't Psyche's going to get out, or if he will ever get out. But she does make it so that Psyche's parents can be with him, and when he does break out, so she casts a spell of immortality on them. And over 1,000 years then, and when Twilight Sparkle is born, the crystal is released. All the stuff that guys have done has happened like in the original storyline. My Little. Then, once Twilight is born, Psyche is released, and he starts living with his parents. The spell of immortality, he is now gone on from them. It was only until Psyche broke out and they start living as a family. They teach Psyche not to really use his powers that much in rage, and starts to realize how dangerous he is, and eventually he leaves his parents to the point where he wanders into the Everfree. He finds the Everfree Forest eventually, wandering into there. Then he basically he comes across Ponyville, which, yes, I'll be doing separate videos, not only on his origins, but how he meets each of the main six. The true series starts when Twilight Sparkle arrives to Ponyville. Until then, and it's just little side stories of what happened and before she arrived there, because of course she's the one who gets it all started. Now I know some people may have questions. Why would you make a pony who was born of his cutie mark? Again, I wanted something different. The reason why the elements were supercharged was because as the elements, as you know, are unpredictable. When Luna and Celestia hit Psyche with them, it caused a feedback loop to the elements, making them have a root to all their power. And that is the element of bravery. If you don't mean by why is bravery the element, and well, magic is unpredictable most times. You need the courage and bravery in order to use it. In the case of laughter, if you're scared of something, you can't just start laughing at it. You need to have the courage in order to do that, or else it's not going to seem genuine and you won't be able to do anything. And with honesty, you can't really be too honest with everyone all the time, because it might end up hurting them more than help them. Sometimes it takes more courage in order to use honesty when talking with someone or doing certain action. Generosity. If you want to be generous to someone, not in human nature, it's natural to be selfish. Everyone else is selfish in the world. Everyone. I'm selfish, you're selfish. In some way, shape, or form. So, in order to be generous, you have to have the courage in order to actually want to share something with someone. With kindness, well, if somebody's been bullying you for a very long time, instead of in a blind rage and going to go beat them up, instead, the courage or bravery to actually show them kindness and show them how wrong they were. In loyalty. Loyalty requires a lot of bravery. If you stay loyal to one thing and one thing only, it could cause consequences that you're not ready to stick by. You need bravery in order to stick by your beliefs. Oh, geez, I think I covered all of them. Let's see. Yeah, I think I did. So still call it all the is My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. I don't own the official series. This is just my own little fan series that I do in my spare time. Audio dramas, comic dubs and stuff. Maybe a few animations when I get more resources. If you guys have any comments, please post them below. This has been from me to you, Psyche Comet, logging out.